Thus, the problem I will speak about goes back to a question asked by Grothendieck at the ICM in 70 in Nice. So the question is the following. Start with G, a p-divisible group over Fp bar. Thus typically, we want to consider the following. Thus for example, G is a p-infinity torsion point in an abelian variety A over Fp bar. And I will consider d phi. This is its rational Dieudonné module. Thus here D the finite dimensional QP brief vector space. Because what is QP brief in this talk? QP brief is a completion of the maximal unramified extension of QP. It is equipped with its Frobenius sigma. That. And phi is a sigma linear automorphism of D. Okay, so if I take my example of an abelian variety, we will have D. This is the first crystalline cohomology group of the abelian variety over the Wies vectors. Thus, I said I take the rational Dieudonné module, thus I invert P. And the phi, the Frobenius air that acts on the isocrystal, this is also called crystalline Frobenius, acting on this crystalline cohomology group. Okay? Then, Grothendieck considers the following. Let's go here. I look at p-divisible groups over OK that are isogenous to G, the fixed p-divisible group I fixed, mod P. That's what is K here. This K is some complete valued extension of QP brief that varies. It is not fixed. I looked at all p-divisible lift of elements over OK when K varies of an element of the isogeny class of G mod P, like that. Okay? And I looked that this is the source, and the target is the following. This is a set of filtrations of the scalar extension of D from QP breve to K, that's dk, of dimensions, the dimension of D. The dimension of a p-divisible group is the dimension of the associated formal group. Typically, in the case of an abelian variety, this is the dimension of this abelian variety. And there is a map from here to here that is a periodic period mapping given by the Hodge filtration of the lift. Okay, so this is really a periodic period mapping. And this is really a periodic analog of Griffith's period morphism. Okay? Thus, you have this setting. G, you look at all possible lists of elements of the isogeny class over all possible varying field K. And you want to know, the question is the following. What is the structure of the image inside the Grassmannian of d-dimensional subspaces of D. Thus, here D is a dimension of G. Of this period mapping. And in particular, he posed the question, is it an algebraic variety? Okay. So this is the starting point. Thus, let me go further after this Cotonic question in 70. Thus, after that, some partial answers were given. And I think the first one is due to Drinfeld. Thus, Drinfeld introduced his famous upper of half space, omega. Thus, what is omega? You take projective space over QP-brief, let's say. Okay, so this is the analog of this. This is a particular case of this Grassmannian. And you remove a profinite set of algebraic varieties, of hyperplanes. That's all rational. Hyperplanes. Okay? So this is a rigid analytic open subset inside Pn-1. Open. And then Drinfeld say that this is such a period space. Period space. For p-divisible groups, as before, plus some particular type of additional structure. As you see already, it's not an algebraic variety, but it's not far. I mean, you don't remove an algebraic variety, but a profinite set of algebraic varieties. Okay. Let's go further in history.
The height is n.
N squared.
The dimensions is 1.
The dimension is n.
Then
But this is a physical group equipped with an action of OD, where D is a division algebra. But typically for n equals 2, this is a quaternion algebra. This next step, another example of this period spaces was studied. This is a case of ordinary, let's say, elliptic curves, but this works the same for ordinary abelian varieties. Ordinary elliptic curves. By this I mean I take G, this is due to mainly Serre, Tate, and Katz. What I will say, the associated p-divisible group to an ordinary elliptic curve over Fp bar is very simple. You have a multiplicative type p-divisible group plus an étal part. of height 1. Okay? And then what we do is the following. We are going to look at X. This is a deformation space of G. Okay? And on, there is no obstruction to deform such a p-divisible group. And moreover, the dimension of the tangent space of deformation is one-dimensional. Thus, this is isomorphic to the formal spectrum of the Witt vectors, and you have one formal variable with no obstruction. Okay. And then you can look at the generic fiber X eta as a rigid analytic space over, let's say, QP brief of this deformation space. Thus, once you have fixed a coordinate X on this deformation space, this is identified with a one-dimensional open ball over QP brief, and you have a period map. And this period map goes to P1. So this is really the flag manifold of before. Okay, this is P1 because the group is height 2, one-dimensional. Okay, so you look at lines inside a two-dimensional QP vector space. But the image is in fact A1 inside P1. So this is to say this period space is surjective onto the A1. I mean, this reflects the fact that, as is well known, in the ordinary case, the Hodge filtration is transverse to the slope filtration of the isocrystal. So the target, the image lies in the big open cell. Okay? And you can give a formula for this. If you choose well the coordinate x, this is just the logarithm, this period map. The logarithm is an example, the p-adic logarithm is an example of a p-adic period map for ordinary elliptic curves. And this is really an étale period mapping. Okay? That's fine. Next step. Lubin Tate, Lafay, and Gross Hopkins. Thus here, I will take G with no étale part as before. This will be a one-dimensional height n formal p-divisible group over Fp bar. Okay, thus for n equals 2, I don't look at ordinary elliptic curves, but at supersingular elliptic curves. Okay. And then the deformation space X, in this case, this is the so-called Lubin Tate space. As before, there is no obstruction to deformation. Thus, you have a power series algebras over the Witt vectors. And the dimension of the tangent space is n minus 1. This is deformation space is of the following form. Like that. Okay. Then, what is the period mapping? It was studied in details by Gross and Hopkins. In this case, this is called Gross map. As you look at the generic fiber in the sense of rigid analytic spaces of this formal scheme X. This is isomorphic to an n-dimensional, n-1 dimensional open ball over QP brief. Okay. Thus, my formal group is one-dimensional, so that look at lines. The Hodge filtration is one dimension, is a line. Inside n-dimensional vector space, this goes to P n minus 1. Okay, and Gross-Hopkins result, and Lafay too, is that this is surjective. I mean, this is really a theorem. This is surjective. Which means, in this case, the period space, the p-adic period domain, is the entire projective space. The entire flag manifold. Okay, thus we have examples. What can we say in general? This is where Fontaine enters in the picture. Fontaine said the following. This was before Gross-Hopkins. He said, I can characterize the K points of the period space inside the Grassmannian, inside GR, this Grassmannian, when K is a finite degree extension of QP brief. Okay. This is the so-called Fontaine's weak admissibility condition. I mean, Fontaine tells you, you give a filtration, and he has, from this, you have a filtered phi module in the sense of Fontaine, and you look at this weak admissibility criterion by Fontaine. Okay? And, okay, I will come back to this later. Fine. These are the geometric interpretations that will show up soon. Then, Rapoport-Zink, this more generally. This Rapoport and Zink came with the following construction. Thus, instead, I will look at more general stuff than deformation spaces of a p-divisible group. Let's start with G over Fp bar. Thus, this is a p-divisible group, as before. Equipped with some PEL additional structure. This is a terminology that comes from Shimura varieties. Let's forget the L, because the L is a level structure in the case of Shimura varieties. Here, this is a polarization, the P. So you can put a polarization on your p-divisible group, and you can put additional endomorphisms, an action of an order inside a simple algebra over the p-adic numbers, typically. Stuff like that. Okay. Then I start with this type of datum, a p-divisible group and a PEL equipped with some additional structure, some actions of a field, and typically. Then they say the following. We can construct, so they prove that you can construct the following. M, so this is the so-called Rapoport-Zink space. This is a formal scheme over the Witt vectors. This is a formal scheme, but a very nice formal scheme. Because locally, it satisfies some finiteness hypothesis. This is a formal spectrum of the Witt vectors of fp bar. Thus you have eventually some formal power series, some p-adically convergent power series, like that, and modulo some ideal. Okay, this is what Rapoport and Zink call locally formally of finite type. Okay. We can construct such a thing. That's what is this? What does it classify? This is not a deformation space as before. This is more general than this. In the sense, it's not a deformation space by isomorphisms, but by quasi-isogenies. This is a deformation space. I won't enter into the details, I don't need it. It's your space by quasi-isogenies. A quasi-isogeny is a virtual isogeny. I mean, an isogeny times a power of p. Quasi-isogenies, that is to say, not only isomorphism. Thus you go through the entire isogeny class of G. Okay, in particular, the spatial fiber of those formal schemes is higher dimensional in general, like in the case of Drinfeld, by quasi-isogenies of G. Okay, so they define this type of deformation space. I proved this is locally like that. And they looked at the generic fiber, their generic fiber as a rigid analytic space. This is a rigid analytic space over QP believe. Okay, the rule is simple. If you want to understand what it is in this case, the rigid analytic fiber of this beast is the Zariski closed locus of this ideal. Inside what? The power series variables give you an open ball. So n power variables like that. And the p-adically convergent variables give you closed balls. Okay? So it is easy to compute with this type of formula the generic fiber of a given formal scheme like that. Okay, this is the rule. And they define a period map, pi, that generalizes this Gross-Hopkins period map towards some flag manifold, F. And this is a flag manifold, flag variety, generalized flag variety, associated to a reductive group given by this PL datum. And this is an étale period morphism. Period morphism. And let's declare F admissible by definition. This is the image of this period morphism. So this is a period space. This is an open rigid analytic subset inside the entire flag manifold. And this is our period space. This is what we call the period space. It is open because the period morphism is étale. This is a consequence of this Grothendieck-Messing deformation theory for p-divisible groups, which is some p-adic analog of Kodaira-Spencer deformation theory for abelian varieties over the complex numbers. Okay. Let's come back to Fontaine now. That's Rapoport-Zink. We come back to Fontaine that is here. Thus Fontaine tells you that you can characterize the k points of this period space, F admissible, when k is a finite degree extension of the base. That's a question now. What is this period space? Can we compute it? This recast Grothendieck question in 70 into what is this open subset. Fontaine's answer is the following. Is that this open subset, this admissible locus, is in fact contained in a weakly admissible locus inside a flag manifold. Okay. Thus here, WA means weakly admissible. And what is this weakly admissible locus? I won't give you the definition. But this is an open subset given by putting this weak admissibility condition of Fontaine of the form. We come back to Drinfeld. This is a flag manifold minus a profinite set of Schubert varieties. Okay. As you see, Drinfeld case was a particular case of this. We removed a profinite set of hyperplanes. Gross-Hopkins was evidently a case when the admissible locus coincides with the weakly admissible locus. Okay. Such that, yeah, let's finish with the property you can expect from this weakly admissible. For all k complete valued extension of QP brief, such that it is finite degree, the admissible and the weakly admissible locus have the same k points. Okay? But in general, there are already a counterexample in Rapoport-Zink's book. There is a strict inclusion. This is to say this weakly admissible locus is only an approximation of the admissible locus, but it's not equal in general, contrary to the Drinfeld case, typically. As for example, the CP points are not the same in general. Maybe I should say something here for people who are not really used to rigid analytic spaces. Is the following. Let me give you an example. Take X, okay, let's go to Berkovich spaces. So Berkovich space, let's say over QP. Take small x, a CP point of X that is not in QP bar. Okay, and you remove it. this is an open subset X that have the same classical Tate points, that is to say, the points with values in finite degree extensions. But those two open subsets are not equal, of course. I remove the point. And even if you are only interested in finite degree, in points with values in finite degree extensions of your base field QP brief, finite, that is to say discrete valuation points, typically, you need to understand the CP points, but you want to understand what happens when the ramification explodes. I mean, you have a sequence of points, and so this is fundamental. If you want to understand families of objects, those two spaces are not the same. Okay, let's go now to the present. All preceding examples were of PEL type. Very nice, but we want to treat any case of Hodge type, I mean, abelian type, and more general, any Shimura variety, if you want to think like that. Just more generally, we have the following. Thus, I will define something. I will call this following Rapoport and Wieman. This is a local Shimura datum. Okay. Thus, I start with my group of symmetries. I mean, my Hodge tensors give you. I want to classify objects equipped with some Hodge cycles and so on. Thus, I start with G. Reductive group over QP. That. Okay. Mu. This will be what we call the Hodge co-character. So this takes values. This is defined over the algebraic closure of QP. And I will take it. No, this is a Hodge co-character. That, and it is up to conjugacy. I mean, okay, and we suppose that it is minuscule, like in the case of Shimura varieties. This is very important. Co-character. There, and I said up to conjugation. Conjugation. Sorry. Well. Okay. I need a third datum. I take small b. What is it? Because this is inside this. It's an element of this Kotvitz set B of G. That's what is B of G. This is the QP brief points of G. As I call you, the QP brief is the completion of the maximal and ramification extension of QP up to twisted conjugation, sigma conjugacy. Like in the twisted trace formula, you have twisted conjugation inside G of QP brief. And this is more or less the set of, you can prove this in a Tanakian way. This is a set of isocrystals equipped with a G structure, okay, up to isomorphism. And this is what I call the Kotvitz set, because it was studied in detail by Kotvitz. And I need a further condition This is my triplet, and I need to add a condition that I won't say a lot before later, such that sigma conjugacy class of B is inside this Kotvitz subset that is denoted by G mu. To be explained later. Okay. See later. This is a finite set. Okay. Then, starting with the local Shimura datum, we can construct, and this is very recent, just using Scholze diamonds, result of Kedai Liu plus the curve. We'll see later. Thus we can construct a local Shimura variety. Just M, G, mu, B. There is a level, K. And this is a level structure, K. Okay. Thus here K is a compact open inside G of Qp, like that. Thus this is a rigid analytic space. Berkovich space, if you want, analytic space, if you want, whatever. Over E brief. E brief. Thus what is E? This is some local reflex field associated to the Shimura datum, local Shimura datum. So this, if you want to know, this is the field of definition of the conjugacy class of the Hodge character mu. Okay, thus you can construct this beast when you fix a level structure K like that. Of course, this is a tower of Shimura, local Shimura varieties. This is to say, when K varies, you have a tower of spaces equipped with an action by equicorrespondences of G of Qp. Okay. Plus a period mapping. Thus plus, we can construct this, plus a period mapping. Toward a flag manifold. That. This is an étal period morphism. Okay. Thus here, the flag manifold F is a twisted form of the constant, I mean G mod P mu. P mu is the usual standard parabolic associated to mu, minuscule mu. Yes, you can construct that. There's a K fixed, level K. I don't care about it. I mean, let's say G is unramified if you want, and K is compact hyperspatial. And the fibers of this beast, the fibers are LE, exactly the Eke orbit. Thus you can construct a local Shimura datum, a period morphism, and you set F admissible. So this is a period space. The period space by definition. The p-adic analog of Hermitian symmetric spaces. So this is a period space, F admissible. So this is the image of this period mapping. This is an open subset inside the flag manifold. Okay. And you have the same picture as before. You want to understand this period space, this p-helix symmetric space. And for this, you call Fontaine. And Fontaine tells you that there is a weakly admissible open subset, F, that is open inside the entire flag manifold. And this is as before. This is F minus a profinite set of Schubert varieties inside this twisted form of G mod this parabolic. Okay? And as before, you have the same point when you evaluate those spaces on discrete valuation field.
Sorry, what's this guy for GL2 in the standard?
This is the Gross-Hopkins limited space
So
of deformation. I mean, depend on the small b. But for GL2, that's usual mu. I mean, I guess take mu of z is z1. This is what you see. Space. I mean, we have an approximation, this weakly admissible set.
Oh, it's finite.
Profinite.
No, I mean the sentence you wrote doesn't look like finished sentence yet.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. In yellow. Okay. Thus, one answer is given by Hartel. Hartel has classified all cases when when the admissible locus equals the weakly admissible locus for GLN. And this is very complicated. The proof is very long. Very complicated. I will give a more general theorem now. Even for GLN, the proof is much shorter. Okay. And now, after this theorem, Hartel proves this, we came with a conjecture with Rapoport. And this is now a theorem, and this is our main theorem with Joffenschen and Schuchen. So the theorem is the following. So this was a conjecture with Rapoport. Suppose, so I will explain all the terms. That's why you need 2 or even 3, 4 bulk boards. The suppose B is basic. I will tell you what it is. Then, the admissible locus coincides with the weakly admissible one if and only if this Kotvitz set BG mu, this is a finite set, it is even a finite poset, is fully Hn decomposable. This Hn here stands for Hodge Newton. Okay. Okay, thus what does it mean? What's what it means B basic? This B basic is a generalization to any group G of isoclinic for GLN. To say the isocrystal has one Dieudonné Manin slope. Thus for GL2, this is a super singular case. Okay, super singular case. Thus, this is to say one Dieudonné Manin slope. Okay. What is this beast that I did not explain? That's a little bit, I don't want to enter too much into the details. We have to introduce root datums and so on, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to do it, so we'll do it like that. Like here. This is BG mu. So let's say we start with a Shimura datum, but the usual one over number field, à la de ligne. Okay? And we localize this Shimura datum at P. This gives us some G mu. Okay? Then BG mu inside B of G. So this is a finite subset. Finite subset. And what is it used for? Oh, cannot move this one. Can you see it under? Yes, you can. It classifies what? The Newton strata Newton strata means ordinary, supersingular in the modular case of the reduction mode P, of the mode P reduction of the Shimura variety. Okay, this, to each Newton stratum, there is associated an isocrystal with a G structure, and all possible cases are given by this BG mu. This is not defined like that. I mean, this is defined in a combinatorial way using Weyl chamber and so on. But I don't want to do it like that. This, okay. There is the last term I need to explain in this theorem. Last term is that, yeah, that's typically, I mean, this B basic corresponds to the supersingular closed stratum with the Shimura variety. Okay. And in this case, you have a uniformization à la Rapoport-Zink. Let's say Shimura varieties of abelian type. Is that a finite disjoint union of our local Shimura varieties, as rigid analytic spaces, modulo the action of some arithmetic subgroups, some lattices. This is identified with a tube over the supersingular locus. There is a link between local Shimura varieties and the global one via this type of Rapoport-Zink uniformization. Then fully HN decomposable. What does it mean? Here again, I don't want to enter too much into the details. Means that the Newton polygon of a non-basic element in BG mu. Because here, a Newton polygon in this context is in fact a lattice point in some Weyl chamber. Touches mean in this context that something is on a wall in a Weyl chamber, touches the Hodge polygon defined by mu outside its extremities. If you want, the Newton and the Hodge polygon, the Hodge is given by mu, are quite near. Okay, let me give you an example where this theorem gives you something. Pretty new. And where this fully HN decomposable condition is satisfied. Take G equals SON. Okay, over QP, that's quasi-split. In this theorem, G, one of the difficulties of the proof of this theorem is that G is any G, not even quasi-split, not even ramified. This is really tough. This part. And thus, let's say associated to this quadratic form, the matrix is given by this. And take mu of Z. This is a diagonal given by Z, 1, 1, Z minus 1. This comes from a Shimura variable. This local Shimura datum comes from a Shimura variety of abelian type, not even of Hodge type, abelian type, associated to the group SO2 and minus 2. Type of gadget that people like Kudla like to play with. This type of Shimura varieties gives you this local Shimura varieties. Okay. Then I tell you that in this case, BG mu is fully HN decomposable, and thus we can compute the admissible locus. It is equal to this weakly admissible locus. And this one is very easy to compute. I mean, like in the Rietveld space, you know exactly what to remove, which Schubert varieties you have to remove. Thus, typically, for n equals 21, this gives you a computation of the p-adic period space of K-free surfaces with supersingular reduction. Okay. Up to a lot of things that I hope are proven in the literature about lifts of K-free surfaces, which is new. Okay, one step further. Just, let me explain you in 5 minutes how we can prove this. One of the main difficulties is that the additional structure is not of PL type, not even of Hodge type. You cannot embed this inside a symplectic group of a linear group because the co-character won't stay minuscule. Okay. Just how to prove this? Well, I mean, as we use this curve with Fontaine. Of course. I mean, if you're blocked, I mean, you are hopefully helpless. I mean, This is the only solution. Thus, let's say you have C, complete algebraically closed extension of QP-Brief. Okay. Thus, to this datum, you can associate the curve x associated to C flat, let's say, if you want to know. Okay. The curve. This is the Dedekind scheme over QP, and it is equipped with a close point with residue field is C. And then there is a construction from isocrystals that goes back to our work with Fontaine. Isocrystals toward vector bundles on the curve. And you can enhance, can be, I don't know, enhanced, okay, enhanced to a construction from G of QP-Brief. Okay. Okay. The curve depends only on C flat, but the point at infinity depends on C, on the untilt. Plop. Plop. No. Thank you.
Second line of residue field.
Residue field is C. The curve is the moduli space of untilt. This is pas QP diamond divided by Frobenius to some twist. Well, okay. Thus, two G bundles on the curve. Thus for G equals GLN, this is nothing as the vector bundles. Thus, I use the terminology since a long time. B goes to E sub B. Okay? And now, if I pick a point X in my flag manifold, C point, this is a G mod P mu, I recall you. I want to know if it is or not in the admissible locus. Yes, I can construct EBX. This is a modification of EB at this point at infinity on the curve given by small x. This is to say, any point x in the flag manifold gives me a modification of this G bundle. Then, and here, I mean, this is part of the construction of this local Shimura varieties, so I give it to you. The point X is admissible if and only if this modification is semi-stable. The semi-stable in the Harder-Narasimhan sense for GLN, and more generally in the Atiyah-Bott sense for any G. Okay, you have a notion of semi-stable G bundle for any reductive group of Atiyah-Bott was in the context of compact Riemann surfaces, but this is adapted after that to algebraic curves. And this works in this curve situation. Okay? And I could go further. Let's see what I can do. Thus, just one or two sentences. Thus, the admissible locus is really a semi-stable locus in the sense Mumford. I mean, you look at small modifications and you look at at the locus where this modification is semi-stable. And this is an analog in the complex case of Simpson point of view that Hodge structure is a particular case of a twistor structure on the twistor projective line. Okay, and the Hodge structure corresponds to semi-stable twistors. And then the proof of the theorem is quite complicated, but it uses the starting point is this equality, and you have to work a lot, in particular since we don't suppose G is quasi-split. And I'm going to stop here.